I want you guys right now to take out your phone, and I want you to go ahead and follow Chat Sports on Twitter. If you're looking for updates around the NFL, if you're looking for the latest news and rumors, there is this place. It's called Chat Sports. You can find them down there below, literally at Chat Sports. Give them a follow on Twitter. It's NFL Mailbag time. Remember, hashtag NFL, you can super chat. We go live every single Monday and Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to be answering questions here for the next 12, 15 minutes. First one's coming in from Robert Bruce. Hey, Brett, a Mitch wondering, do you think Mac Jones starting and releasing Cam Newton was a mistake, please? Okay, so wondering, do you think Mac Jones starting and releasing Cam Newton was a mistake? I don't really know if it was a mistake. I mean, Mac Jones is a rookie. You're going to have your lumps there. But if Cam Newton, you weren't 100% confident in him being healthy, and they can say what they want about the whole vaccine thing, that definitely played a role in this. But I believe that Mac Jones was the better quarterback. Maybe releasing Cam Newton was a mistake in terms of him being on the field, but they also respected him enough that they thought he was going to go somewhere else. Let's go to Jacob Bates. What do you think Falcons will be in the next 5 to 10 years? Wow, I barely even know what I'm going to be doing in the next 5 to 10 years. They need to find another quarterback, so until they are able to find a quarterback that can take over for Matt Ryan, it's kind of hard to be able to believe in this team. They still need an offensive line. They still need an offense or a defense as well, but 5 to 10 years, man. Let's just worry about this here in the next 3. What up, Juan Hernandez? Even though I don't like the Queefs, why would Josh Gordon sign with the Chiefs? I wonder who is the most drama queen, him or AB. I mean, AB is the biggest drama queen. He's just had some off-the-field issues, but at the end of the day, he probably still thinks that, hey, the Chiefs have a chance to win the Super Bowl, and they're 1-2, I get that, but let's face it, they still have a chance to win a Super Bowl. They have a very great quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. So, and if that's the team that wants to be able to give him a chance, I mean, maybe they're the only team that wants to give him a chance. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to JM. Lions or Giants, who's better? I would love to be able to say Giants, but I mean, I'm at least going to give the Lions credit. They don't have a lot of talent, but that team plays really, really hard for Dan Campbell. They should have won this past week up against Baltimore, but Justin Tucker somehow made a 66-yard field goal, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's the Detroit Lions. All right, this one's from Nathan Wagner. OBJ coming back, and their defense is solid. Do you see the Browns making the playoffs? I do personally see the Browns making the playoffs. I actually had this team projected to win their division. So, yes, I mean, I get what the Bengals have done. I have not been impressed with the Steelers the last 2 weeks. Cincinnati's a good story, but no, the Ravens have been inconsistent, have a lot of injuries. But, yeah, I really do think that the Cleveland Browns are the best team in that division. And, yes, I see them making the playoffs. One of the biggest free agents out there on the market right now is Richard Sherman, and I want to know down in the comments, y'all, what team do you think is going to go out and get Sherman? There were some reports last week. I did a video on Richard Sherman destinations. If you haven't seen it yet, please go check it out. It's on the channel. Another reason to subscribe. But let me know, where do you think Richard Sherman's going to end up? Let's go to Dre all day. If the Panthers get Watson for Darnold and 2 firsts, does that make them Super Bowl favorites with the number 1 defense in the league? I get that you're looking at stats right now. I don't believe that the Panthers have the number 1 defense in the league. It's been much improved. It also, I think you have to give credit to Matt Rule of his ability, whether it's been at Temple, whether it's been at Baylor, to take a program, tear it down, and then really rebuild it. And not only rebuild it, but rebuild it rather quickly. So I think Matt Rule is one of the best coaches in the league. I'm not really afraid to say that. But I don't know if it makes them a Super Bowl favorite. Puts him as a top 10 team, but you got to give Sam Darnold some credit. He's looked really good thus far. I mean, you can't really take that away from him. All right, what up, Nathan? Hi, Mitch. Players you see getting dealt at the November trade deadline. Honestly, probably would have said C.J. Henderson, but doesn't look like that's going to happen anymore simply because, guess what? Yeah, he already got dealt. I'm going to go out and say Chandler Jones is a move that I could see end up happening. Maybe even Jordan Hicks as well could be an interesting deal. One of the backup offensive linemen for the Chiefs, I can never pronounce his name, Luverne, Tardif, whatever, he could end up getting moved. Damon Arnett, I actually think could be a really solid cornerback that are going to end up getting dealt. Those are some of the top names that are just, off my head. Let's go to Kurt Morrow. When should the Bears fire Matt Nagy, and should they hire Kellen Moore as a head coach? Well, I don't really know if Kellen Moore is going to leave the Cowboys. Now, would he leave it for a head coaching job? Sure, he probably should. In terms of Matt Nagy, I really think Matt Nagy could be the first head coach fired this year. I mean, with all the drama going around that offense, with all the eyes on Justin Fields, it would not surprise me if Nagy is the first head coach fired. And, hey, if it ends up happening, then, so be it here. But let me know, the guys, down in the comments section right now, who do you think is going to be the very first head coach fired in the National Football League? Now, if you guys are watching this live right now, I want to give a shout-out to you. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and follow Chat Sports on Twitter. Now, I am literally live here on NFL Daily, and I am filming a video. You guys can see it here in the background. I want you guys to go ahead, join us live right now, and every single retweet and every single like that you see, we're going to be able to give you a shout-out here on NFL Daily. Now, I just recorded that on my phone. I am now going to post that on Twitter at Chat Sports, and I want you guys to go to the Chat Sports Twitter handle at Chat Sports right now, and I want you to retweet and like this tweet that I'm about to go ahead and put out. Every single person that does that, I'm going to go ahead and give you a shout out here on NFL Daily Live. We'll be doing it throughout the entire show, so make sure you do it. I just sent it out. It's at Chat Sports. Let's go to another question coming in here, and remember, guys, it's hashtag NFL, or you can go ahead and super chat to get your questions featured here. We got Nathan Wagner. If you were German, it'd be Wagner. Should the Browns have Denzel Ward, Wyatt Teller, and Baker Mayfield to sign eventually? How do they afford all those players? Well, the cap's going to go up. So first off, that's going to be something. And then in terms of Ward and Baker, you know that they're going to end up getting their deals. And then Wyatt Teller, they're eventually going to be able to figure it out. I'm confident. If you want to be able to make players or get guys, you can figure it out in the NFL. You can move money around. Let's go to William Dodge Jr. Will Stephon Gilmore play a down this year, and what do you think his market will look like in the offseason if he doesn't play? I still believe that he will end up playing. Remember, he's on the IR, so he's going to be back, I believe, week 6. The NFL trade deadline, that's another player that could end up getting dealt on November 2nd. I believe he ends up playing, but it also wouldn't be surprising if he ended up getting dealt at November 2nd, because let's face it, Patriots probably aren't going to be in the playoffs. Let's go to E for Evan. Do the Broncos have the best defense in the National Football League? I mean, they're definitely top 5. It's probably between the Broncos. Carolina's got a hell of a defense. The Los Angeles Rams, I think, have a phenomenal defense as well. I mean, the Buccaneers, I know they just gave up a lot of points. They deserve to be in this conversation. But let me know down in the comments, y'all, who you believe has the best defense in the league. The Broncos, they look very, very fierce. The only reason why I'm going to pump the brakes on it is because the same reason for Carolina, they haven't really played anybody yet. So, yes, the defense is showing up. Yes, it's put up good stats. But if you're not playing anyone, I need more of a benchmark. I need to see a little bit more. Let's go to Jacob Bates. Do you think the Falcons made a mistake with picking Kyle Pitts with the number 4 overall pick? I don't know if they made a mistake. However, if Kyle Pitts doesn't go out and be a top 5 tight end, it is a little bit of a disappointment. I think he's a phenomenal athlete. You just got to be patient with tight ends. One of the things that I said before the season started was actually the player that I think was going to disappoint the most people, I talked about this from a fantasy standpoint, was Pitts, simply because it takes a while for people to get used to, especially the tight end position, how to block, how to catch, and get it used to the NFL. So Kyle Pitts is a good player. You just got to give him some time. What up, Juan? If they do extend Derek Carr, how many years do you think they will extend him for? I think if you do it, it's probably going to be a 5-year extension. Maybe they do something like what the Vikings did with Kirk Cousins. They give him 3 years, and it's just fully guaranteed. Derek wants to stay a Raider. He's literally said before that if it's not the Raiders, he would probably retire, so that's kind of an interesting idea. I think that he may take a little bit of a cheaper deal, but at the end of the day, I think it'll be up to DC and whatever he wants, and if he keeps playing the way he is, hey, man, you can do whatever you want, Carr. Let's go to Vincent Marks. Why can the Bears trade for Deshaun Watson and Justin Fields straight up? I mean, the Texans say no, and I also don't think the Bears are going to want to do that. You traded up to the number 11 overall pick to get Fields. I still think that Fields is going to be a good quarterback. He's got a lot of the mechanics that you want. He's got a lot of the intangibles. He's a hell of an athlete. The issue is, if you don't put any talent around him or if you can't block him, you're never going to be able to see that. But I think the Bears say no, and I actually think the Texans definitely say no. Now, if you're an NFL fan, I want you to go ahead and subscribe for free videos every single day. We're putting out 2 videos at least here at Chat Sports. Over 264,000 subs. So before you do anything under the vid, click that red button that says subscribe. Let's go to the actual cap. If the Cowboys play to the best of their abilities, do you think that they can get 13 wins? Sure, right? I mean, that's like saying if any NFL team plays the best that they absolutely can they get to 13? The offense is there. I do have to give at least a little bit of credit to that defense. Dan Quinn has transformed this defense at least a little bit. I do want to see what they're able to do, going forward. But the offense, I have no questions about it whatsoever. If Zeke can get it going a little bit more, Tony Pollard looks really phenomenal. But if that defense can be top 15, I think that this team that could win 10, 11 games, if they can go ahead and get to a top 10 defense, then yes, then 13 wins is probable. Let's go to Stephen Curry. If the Cowboys and Raiders battle it out in a Super Bowl, can you and Tom have a boxing match? The only reason why I'm going to say no to that is because Tom's about to be a dad, and I don't want Mary Kay to have to raise a kid by herself. Let's go to Evan Hinders next up here on NFL Daily. Will the Raiders sign David DeCastro? David DeCastro is probably the top offensive guard when fully healthy. The biggest issue is I don't know if he's 100% healthy. Andre James has not looked good thus far. John Simpson has struggled. Can't believe I'm going to say this. Jermaine Illuminor has been the best guard on the Raiders. If you can spell his last name, shout out to you. Colton Miller's been okay. Alex Leatherwood has been a little bit of a disappointment, but the Raiders definitely need to go out and add something at the offensive guard position. Marquise, what's up, Mitch? Who do you want to see in the Super Bowl next year? So you mean this year? Also, what's up to the rest of the crew? So everyone shout out from Marcus. Crew says hello to you. I mean, the Super Bowl that I want, legitimately want, is probably the Raiders up against Raiders. Cowboys probably be the best for business here at Chat Sports. So I'll go ahead and I'll say that. Let's go to Evan Hinders. Will Kyle Trask play in the next 3 years for Tampa Bay? I hope not, and I think Tampa Bay hopes he doesn't. I mean, Tom Brady, I get it. He's 44 years old, but if that guy thinks that he can play till 50, let him play, because at 44, he still looks really good. Right now, leads the NFL in passing touchdowns, and Kyle Trask, I'm sorry to say this, is not a good NFL quarterback, period. Let's go to the OVO God. Is Kareem Hunt a better running back than Chubb? So we got a Browns-related question here. I mean, Hunt so far I think has been the more impressive running back. I believe he leaves Cleveland right now in reception, so that's kind of an amazing thing. If you're looking for an all-around back, Kareem Hunt is a better overall back. If you're looking for somebody that can pound it between the tackles and really work that great offensive line that Cleveland has, then it's Chubb. But what is Chat Sports? We're an interactive show, so let me know who's the better running back. If you believe it's Nick Chubb, type NC. If you believe it's Kareem Hunt, type KH. I think it also depends on the type of offense. I will still take Chubb as my top running back, but Kareem Hunt is still probably top 15 in my book. Let's go to SM. Where does Cooper Kupp rank among top wide receivers? He's definitely deserving to be in this conversation, I believe, as a top 15, top 10 guy. And if you're looking for a route running, if you're looking for the ability to catch the football, Matthew Stafford has been a great addition to him. I mean, he's definitely benefiting Stafford over Jared Goff. But Cooper Kupp continues to be able to show year in and year out that you're right. His name deserves to be up there with some of the top receivers in the league. Johnny Lopez, top 3 offenses so far. I would say probably Cardinals definitely deserve to be up there. I mean, I think it's almost crazy. I want to say the Raiders. I mean, they've been putting up some sick points as well. Man, the Rams just dropped 34 on Tampa Bay. Baltimore, no. Kansas City, they still have, of course, a super dynamic offense. But I'm going to go ahead and say Raiders, probably going to throw the Rams in there. They have a great defense, and then Arizona. Matt Productions, I personally, probably should also throw the Bills in there. I personally don't think Sherman is going to play and fire Matt Nagy. So you don't think that Richard Sherman's going to play this year? I disagree with that. I do think that he's going to play. What about this? What's the better chance? Richard Sherman suiting up and lacing up the cleats, or Matt Nagy getting fired? Curious what you guys have to say about this one. Let me know down in the comments section. Now, if I didn't get to one of your questions today, you can yell at me on Instagram at MitchellRentz365. I try to always check my DMs. I try to see what you guys are thinking, what you guys are going with. Obviously, I don't have time to get to every single one of y'all's questions, so if you could, hit me up on IG, MitchellRentz365.